Alright, so here's what we learned from tonight's direct. Um, well, we learned there's no Pokemon coming, at least not yet. And a lot of people that follow my Twitter, or I follow their Twitter, I also found out that there is no Animal Crossing coming either, which I didn't know people were waiting for. But we did see some interesting games get announced. I'm just going to run through a few of them. I've got some notes here, so forgive me looking to the side. We've got the very first one they announced was Mario Maker 2, which, having not played any of these games myself, I'm not going to have any frame of reference, but this one I have seen footage of, and it does look cleaner than the previous, so there's that going for it. But other than that, Mario's Mario. People are going to like it or people aren't going to like it. It's just the way Mario goes. So then we went on to Marvel Ultimate Alliance, this RPG that I'd never heard of, what apparently was coming to the Switch. So it made it sound like it wasn't a brand new game, which we'll come to find out was the case for a lot of things with this Direct. But it looked like a mobile game to me. It just looked like a mobile game that was ported over to the Switch. I don't know whether it was, but I guess people who like Marvel are gonna buy that. I think that's kind of the thing with Nintendo. Again, they bank on people just liking the franchises they like. Then we went on to this weird, simple box boy thing that, again, I'd never heard of, which is apparently an established series, but again, I have no opinions on that. It's a side-scrolling puzzle-solving game that I personally would never touch, but it looks decent enough. So there was that. And then they got to Smash Bros. Ultimate, which obviously everybody must have been hyped about because I hear nothing but Smash these days. But it was just the version 3 update, which I don't know whether everybody be still excited for. I don't know whether that's what they were waiting for, but that's what they got. And got no details other than that someone called Joker is preparing to fight, so I'm guessing they add him in as an extra character. I don't know. Then moved on to Game of the Year, Captain Toad, which was what it was. It was some new gameplay, some new game modes, I think I remember them saying. So there was that. That was another update. Then we had Gothic Castle. This one was another side-scrolling game. And honestly, as this direct went on, I got so tired of seeing side-scrollers. I'm a fan of them, and I couldn't stand watching this. The thing about this one, though, had a really strange British voiceover in it, which was weirdly off-putting. It was one of those like overly posh because they think we all sound like that kind of deals. Strange. Then we had a couple of games like Dragon Quest. We had a generic Disney game, anime game number 5003. Honestly, this direct was full of anime games that just don't interest me at all. If they interest you, I suggest you go and check out the direct yourself. If you come here, you're probably just looking to discuss the direct itself and the Pokemon side of news. Spoiler alert, there wasn't any. Then they went on to Yoshi, Fire Emblem. Honestly, people rave about Fire Emblem, but to me it just looked like cutscene watcher. It's just like, let's watch an anime and then maybe click a few buttons, but I mean, I could be wrong. That was just a trailer or an update or whatever it was. And then we had the best announcement, if we were living in 1983, with Fortnite elements. We had Tetris 99 announced, a game where you can play against 99 other people online at Tetris. No, I'm not joking. Followed that up by a zombie survival game, which was... It was what it was. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. It had the same elements that every zombie survival game has, but it looked decent enough. The Deltarune trailer was really good. I thought it was quite funny how they did it. Although, having seen some parts of their Twitter, it's not surprising that the creator made a trailer like that. And then we're back onto the anime games. There was a nice sports game, a car racing game announced. I think it was called Grid Autosport, which looked decent. It had decent graphics, which I don't think that a lot of games that are being made for the Nintendo Switch take advantage of all that much, apart from maybe the Zelda games, I'm told, because again, I don't play the Zelda games. But I have seen footage of them. Followed up by Hellblade. It actually looked really interesting, that game. It's graphically, it looked fantastic. And I believe this one was the one about psychosis or something like that. I'm sure this is the one. Genuinely something that I would be interested in. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, sort of a twisted, sort of darker themed game, then I definitely think you should check out the direct for that part specifically. Then we had a rapid fire announcements for Mortal Kombat 11, Unraveled 2, Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, which honestly they could have picked two others that were far better, but I don't know whether they're already on there because I'm very late to the game with this Switch stuff. Final Fantasy 7 and I think it was 11 that was also announced to be coming to the Switch. Something called Chocobo's Mystery something. I didn't catch the last word because again it was so quick. They fired this as. And then the final announcement, or at least what we thought was a final announcement, was a new game called Astral Chain by the same people that made Bayonetta, with a small mention of Bayonetta 3 after it as well. Astral Chain looks decent. Again, not a game I would personally play, but it looks graphically amazing. It looks pretty intense for sure, and there was a lot of focus throughout the entire thing of games that are multiplayer, which definitely fits in with everything that Nintendo stands for. They're always about making people come together and play games rather than the single player experience. And then the final announcement we had was Zelda Link's Awakening, which I'd never heard of before because again I don't play Zelda games. Apparently it was this big Game Boy game. I originally thought it was just a brand new game being announced and looked half decent. It looked like one of those sort of I can't even describe it. It just looked like a fun, simple game, but I'm guessing Zelda fans are going to roast me for not knowing that. But yeah, all in all, we got nothing from the Direct about Pokemon, nothing from the Direct about Animal Crossing either, which apparently people were, again, waiting for. But is that bad news? I don't think so. I think in the coming weeks we'll get a dedicated Pokemon Direct announced, and people will get even more hyped for that, because they'll have something that they know is specifically dedicated to Pokemon. They're going to sit through a bunch of indie games or a bunch of remakes or a bunch of updates or a god awfully long Fire Emblem trailer to sit through to get their information. So all in all, it was a decent Direct. We didn't get what we wanted, but that means we could get even more out of it later on. But let me know what you thought of it if you saw the Direct, and if you enjoy these sort of more relaxed style videos that I'm starting to upload, let me know as well with a like and subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll keep making more because I really enjoy the more laid back stuff instead of the more planned out scripted stuff.